जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा सफर.
So welcome everyone. Here we are at our 9th stop in this crazy train ride through ancient Indian cultural history. Now we're still in the world of the Upanishads. We're at about 600 or 500 BC. We're in northern India, and we're going to keep working through some of the kind of path-breaking speculative philosophy that these incredible texts contain. Now, to review, we can think of there being three definitive paradigm shifts that are taking place in the Upanishads. One shift is that there's a move from the external world of ritual to an internal search for truth and enlightenment. Another shift is that there's a liberalization of Vedic thought. So there's new sources of ideas outside of just the old elite Vedically trained Brahminical institutions, right? So women like Gargi or kings like Janaka or Ajatashatru have ideas that were just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the ideas of the Brahmins. 3, there's a new religious calling now. There's a new quest, a quest for ultimate liberation or moksha from that eternal cycle of death, rebirth, and human suffering. Now, you might feel like we all still need to learn these ideas a little bit better, but you're in luck, because what we're going to do is spend this whole time just looking at one very famous Upanishad, which is called the Katha Upanishad. The Katha belongs to the Black Yajurveda tradition. It was most likely composed around 500 to 400 BC. So basically right around the time of the Buddha, maybe slightly before him. It's a relatively short Upanishad, and it involves a frame story, a story that frames the Upanishad, about a young Brahmin boy named Nachiketas, who goes and talks to death, Yama, about death. Now, remember how last time I had said there were these kind of three big questions that the Upanishads ask, right? What is ultimate reality? Who am I? And what happens after death? The Katha Upanishad is going to kind of concentrate on that third question. What happens after death? And basically, our boy Nachiketas goes and asks death to explain himself, basically. The god of death teaches Nachiketas the secrets of what happens after death, but in so doing, he also gives him an interesting lesson on yoga philosophy, how to control your senses and disentangle your true self from the material world and the karmic bondage that holds us all down. Now, it's a very important Upanishad. It's going to be especially important to keep this Katha Upanishad in mind until the very end of our journey, because we're going to be reading the Bhagavad Gita at the end. And what we're going to see is that Krishna in the Gita often borrows entire verses from the Katha Upanishad. So much so that sometimes it feels like he's kind of plagiarizing the Katha. So here's how things are going to go in this session. In the first segment, we'll go through the basic story of our boy Nachiketas and how he ended up having to go to death himself to ask about death. In the second segment, we'll look at 3 wishes that death gives to Nachiketas and how he uses one of these wishes to ask death about a secret that he doesn't want to reveal, the secret of what happens after death. Yama eventually does reveal it to him, and so in segment 3, we'll go in depth into the teachings that the Katha Upanishad gives us about the atman and the brahman and karma and rebirth. In segment 4, we'll see how our bodies are like chariots and how there's a thumb-sized little man that lives inside your heart who's immortal, infinite, and a slice of pure bliss. This Atman, it turns out, is exactly what we've been looking for this whole time. And so in segment 5, we're going to be taught some methods of yoga that are going to help us find this thumb-sized guy. So get settled in. It promises to be a fun session, I think, and I'll see you in later.